Hey everybody, this is Josh, and welcome to Game 2 in a best-of-3 series being played between Liquid TLO, the purple Terran down here on the bottom left of Xel'Naga Caverns, and FXOmOoNan, the red Terran up here in the top right. The first game we saw on Metalopolis looked to be a bit of a mirror match up to about the 5-minute mark, and then TLO started doing some crazy things involving a Thor and some nice tank drops, and basically just totally dominating mOoNan. mOoNan, on the other hand, tried to get some Banshee play going, was a little bit slower to expand and totally get saturated there at his natural, so basically just wasn't going his way. Here on Xel'Naga Caverns, he'll have another chance against TLO to try and stay alive in this TL Open or TSL Qualifier number 4 for a chance to play in that much larger tournament later this year, the TSL. And TLO, of course, would like to continue winning so that he can get to the finals. These are the semi-finals, best-of-3 series here. And the winner of this best-of-3 will go on into the finals to face an unknown challenger. I'm going to cast the rest of those games as well so we can see who they will play. TLO is going to be the first one to scout this time around. Let's watch that production tab for a while, shall we, and see how long these players mirror each other in this TVT. And I do believe TLO is playing Terran in this matchup purposely because it is a Terran opponent. I think he feels that his TVT matches up better than his ZVT or PVT, so he was allowed to race pick a little bit. He is a random player, though, most of the time in this tournament. mOoNan responding extremely quickly to TLO trying to kill off this SEV, building a barracks. That was kind of an interesting little play there by both players. TLO is going to start scooting around, seeing if there's anything else out of the ordinary, but of course we know that this is the very standard Terran build with an orbital command coming up. Both players mirroring each other still in that production window, and now a supply depot coming as well. Still going 1 for 1 here on orbital command, supply depot, and Marines. SCVs chasing each other around. TLO is going to return home, and mOoNan is going to get a look into his base here soon. TLO not trying to wall off at all, but he should actually have a second Marine out by the time mOoNan gets over here, so I'm not sure if he wants to sacrifice this SCV to try and see something crazy or not. We'll see in a moment. You might be checking this expansion area. Yes, he is, but not going to see anything, and the single Marine is going to start stalking this SCV. He should not catch him, I don't believe, ever, so he's going to go ahead and back off. 2.81 move speed for the SCV, 2.25 for the Marine, so the SCV will escape every time as long as he is microed properly. Factory coming up for TLO and for mOoNan. Check that out. Second refinery coming up for mOoNan a little later than TLO did. TLO actually has both of his up and running right now. Worker count should still be around the same. Yes, it is, because both players have just continually been building SCVs, queuing up one after the other. mOoNan actually might drop off here a little bit. Yes, he did. Well, he gets a starport up. There was that SCV started, though, already. Starport coming up for mOoNan, not a starport coming up for TLO. Instead, he's just going to finish off his factory. He's already got a reactor done here on his barracks while mOoNan went for that tech lab. So mOoNan with a quick 1-1-1 might be flipping the starport onto the tech lab after a couple of Marines come out. He will not be building any tech lab units, no Marauders, no Reapers. He is actually supply blocked right now, but this supply depot is going to finish very soon, close to the time that it is needed anyway. mOoNan still scouting around with this SCV, not sure if he's going to try and build something in a sneaky spot or not. TLO getting up his own starport now. He's got a reactor on his barracks, tech lab on his factory, and we do see the starport of mOoNan flipping on to the tech lab there. Is he going to get a Banshee immediately? He is going to get cloak researched immediately, so the Banshee will have to come next as soon as he gets 100 gas. Now he is able to build it, and there it is. Supply depot coming up for him as well. Does not want to block himself while he goes for this super sneaky cloaked Banshee play. Single Marine for mOoNan scouting around. I like this. TLO is kind of a wild card sometimes. You never know if he's going to try and take an expansion somewhere you wouldn't expect. Ooh, TLO's already moving out now with a bunch of Marines and a single tank, while Cloak and a Banshee are still coming up for mOoNan. If TLO gets over here and mOoNan's got that cloakable Banshee, he could be in trouble. Obviously, Banshee's two-shot these Marines without any combat shields, so wouldn't be long before that tank fell as well. mOoNan did see this with his single Marine at that Xel'Naga Tower, so he started building a bunker quite quickly. He's got a decent force here of Marines, a nice Banshee up in the air. Cloak obviously not finished just yet. A single medevac here with TLO as well, so he might even be able to do some elevatoring if need be. mOoNan going to jump inside that bunker. He's got a single SCV here to repair, and he's going to pull a bunch of SCVs to come help repair this bunker. Marines are dying on both sides. mOoNan lost a couple, TLO lost a couple, but TLO still looking good here with 3 Marines and a single tank, but now mOoNan getting a tank out of his own. There's no way TLO is going to be able to continue this. He actually managed to save his siege tank and a Marine, though, that were in the red, so TLO didn't lose much at all there. Single Banshee coming in for mOoNan now. Cloak is complete. TLO, how much energy do you have on your orbital command? You do have 50 energy, but are you going to drop a mule? No, you're not going to drop a mule, so you will have a scan available. Single Viking out for TLO. He drops that scan right away before the Banshee even cloaks, really. So that Viking and Marine are going to be able to ward it off, but now there is no energy left on this orbital command. mOoNan should know that, and he's going to go ahead and pursue these Marines. Actually, it looks like it takes about 3 blasts to kill a Marine, but this Banshee needs to be careful about what it's going to be targeting. It does not have that much time in the cloaking spell there. Second Banshee about to arrive. Still not enough energy for another cloak, for another scan, I should say, but a Raven is coming out now. It's about halfway done. It's focusing down the tech lab on the factory, but not on the starport. Second Cloak Banshee does arrive now. They're both going to be killing off some SCVs, trying to kill off the tech lab on the factory. If they killed the one on the starport here, this Raven would not be able to come out. Now he starts focusing the tech lab on the starport, but the Raven's going to come out with plenty of time. This Viking does finish off the Banshee as energy runs out on it. This Raven is out now, so this Viking will be do just fine against this Banshee as long as they stay in range of this Raven. They have pretty similar movement speeds, but the Banshee might be able to escape. No! So TLO manages to kill off both of those Banshees with only losing a couple of SCVs and a tech lab. TLO still looking good. He has a turret up in his mineral line. Neither player has expanded yet, but mOoNan is just about to, building up 2 more refineries here. TLO, I don't believe, even has a command center in the works anywhere. I don't see one. So let's look at the income tab right now. TLO at 29 harvesters. mOoNan has 32 of his own and is now starting to expand here, getting a second orbital command. TLO just now starting to build his command center at his natural. So TLO looks like he might actually have a decent amount of units here. 60 supply against 55. mOoNan has just been building Marines, tanks, and a single Viking up to this point. Both players, you know, getting some infantry here for mOoNan and some nice tanks and medevacs here for TLO as he continues to expand. A new reactor up on this barracks, so mOoNan does have the production advantage, I believe, as TLO is still sitting with 1 of each production building. mOoNan actually has 1 of each and a bunch of barracks, getting a second factory now as well, as he does have the second base making SCVs. He's up 36 workers to 32 now. He's had some extra time with some mules, and now he is on the move with 3 tanks and a bunch of Marines. TLO does have a decent-sized force here, but Siege Tech is not quite finished. It should actually finish before mOoNan arrives at his main, or at his natural, I should say. mOoNan also getting +1 weapons for his infantry and stim pack. Always good to have that. TLO loading up everything into these medevacs with a single Viking and a single Raven, acting as sort of protection there. mOoNan backing off, not sure what he saw that he didn't like. Maybe he dropped a scan and caught some additional information, but it looks like he just wants to expand here at the gold. While he feels like he's at a little bit of an economic advantage, he can continue to expand upon that. So TLO moving now with 4 medevacs, I should say, full of tanks and Marines, a single SCV there here to help repair things, a Viking to provide vision, and a Raven to spot any cloaked Banshees. mOoNan, not sure what he should do. Maybe he is moving with a lot of Marines and a couple of tanks. I'm going to go ahead and watch this drop from TLO, and we'll leave mOoNan's attack in picture if and when it does begin. Viking landing right here, all SCVs being pulled. Medevacs are going down to the turrets. He needs to pull those back just a smidge to keep from losing that medevac, but actually the Marines and tanks do manage to focus it down. TLO breaking down some supply depots right now. mOoNan not able to respond with anything. Anything that pops out of these barracks would be killed instantly by the siege tank fire and these auto turrets that were dropped all over the place by TLO. So a couple of medevacs still in good shape, tanks doing just fine, Marines shooting away at this orbital command that is now starting to fly away, supply depots going down left and right. mOoNan still actually just now becoming supply block, but it doesn't matter because he actually does not he can't actually build anything anywhere because it'll be killed right away. So TLO's still moving around with his Marines, following this factory, needs to start killing off these SCVs. Medivacs and Raven need to be careful to stay out of range of this turret. There's nothing here to defend against this. He really needs to get these Marines in here killing off these SCVs if he's going to win this base race. mOoNan actually pulling back with a bunch of units right now. SCVs being pulled, not sure where they're headed. This orbital command could actually drop on the other side of these destructible rocks and be relatively safe. Now the SCVs of mOoNan attacking the Marines of TLO. Looks like TLO lifted off everything he had in his main and is now coming across the middle of the map, and mOoNan pulling all these SCVs, trying to attack into siege tanks now. Not the best idea. It is siege tank against siege tank now. Starport being focused down a little bit. Basically, mOoNan's main is cleared out and TLO's main is more or less cleared out. He's just got a couple of flying buildings. TLO, I'm going to pull up units tab here just so we can get a look at that. One Viking for each player, a couple more medevacs for TLO. A lot of tanks still left for TLO, but 16 Marines for mOoNan, and of course he does still have some production capability, even if it is very little. TLO's starting to land and build buildings here in mOoNan's main and natural here. A couple of tanks still alive for TLO, actually 3 tanks still alive. I'm not sure what mOoNan's going to be able to do about this. He only has 8 Marines left and 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs, no SCVs at all left for TLO. All he has left are these tanks, and another one dies to an SCV there, and this tank pops out to help. Now it's just a single tank, a single Viking left for TLO. He has a command center. He has 300-ish minerals. He's trying to repair something somewhere. Oh, he's using his mules to repair this orbital command that is creating SCVs. But mOoNan has no more workers left either, but he does have 49 minerals, so mOoNan cannot build anything else. He can only rely on mules at this point. He's still got this orbital command burning down. If he would have lifted this one and dropped it on the other side of those destructible rocks, I believe he could have started mining already and starting to get back in this. One tank coming out now. TLO has a full health tank. This tank could actually decide who wins this game, as TLO is trying to rebuild now. Both players actually, only TLO has 2 SCVs completed now out of that orbital command. A Marine pops out for mOoNan, and the single Viking does land. He's got some HP left on him. This single tank of TLO tries to respond. He should be able to blast this Viking and this Marine without losing the tank. He actually, wow, he actually manages to kill all that stuff, but mOoNan cannot do anything. His orbital commands are gone. He has 0 SCVs. He has a single tank and a single medevac. Actually, TLO, if he just stays in this game, all he has to do is finish off the buildings of mOoNan. He will actually win this game. He's rebuilding his base in mOoNan's former base, but mOoNan is picking up this barracks, trying to float away. There's a single turret here being focused down by this tank. A few Marines and a single medevac with a tank loaded up, coming back now to try and clear out the main of mOoNan, his former base. He's going to have to try and kill off what TLO has left, just a couple of SCVs and a single tank here. Let's see what happens. He sieges up. The tank is picked up very quickly by TLO, but the medevac only has 29 health. If he can manage to take out that medevac, picking up and dropping the tank, both the medevac and the tank go down. Only a couple of Marines left here. No SCV still, no orbital command. These 2 Marines are all mOoNan has left. He is going to start kiting these SCVs with a single medevac. Has enough energy. These 3 Marines are enough to make TLO GG. All TLO had left were these 4 SCVs, 3 right here, and 1 building this barracks right here. So once those were dead, TLO was done. I cannot believe this insane game. That was just really bizarre to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but that was game 2 in a best of 3 series. So now we have one more TVT, so let's go check it out.